go. Okay. I see us. Okay, let me start the music. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear it.
So you want to be a cool kid.
You want to be a cool kid. My microphone's in front of my face. We're chasing the sun here in Tennessee. Here it comes to the bridge. Wait. Here we go. Serge Hoffman singing My Words, His Music. There we go. Let's lower that song. Oh, Karen's got sticks to it. There we go. Okay, song off, and we will bring it up later. I'm Bonnie D, and you are?
Karen G from Honolulu, Hawaii.
Hello, Karen. What's the abbreviation for Hawaii? Is it HI?
HI.
HI. So when people say, where do you live? You say hi?
Hi. I'm going to start saying that.
I like that. Karen, it's so nice to see you. We're doing this every week now. As I said in my opening, I'm chasing the sun here, which is kind of strange because the sun has moved as the seasons move. We're now just almost at what? September 1st? What? Coming up soon? What? Where'd the year go? And the sun is in my top window here in my office and it's coming down and it's chasing me all over where I go. So I'll be moving around a lot for the next 30 minutes. So Karen, why don't I just do a quick opening, my monologue poem, and then we'll do a quick who we are, and then we'll get started. We have a couple of interesting topics and questions today. So here we go. You know us well, Bonnie D and Karen G. Wave to yourself there. Seasoned in life, dynamic and free. Don't you like the word seasoned? From face to social media's embrace. Let's embrace. Let's hug. We're content creators leaving our trace. We hope it's a good one. Now on We Dish, we're here to play, lighting up the cybersphere in our fresh, unique way. At least we hope we are. Chatting on culture, music, food for a start, plus wacky headlines and our own original art. No politics here, just joy and delight. Join us live or on demand. Find us day or night. We may be sleeping, but you'll find us on demand. Meet us for real with your questions in tow. Pull those questions along. Comments are welcome. Just go with the flow. So tune in, engage. Let's laugh and connect on We Dish. Too Saucy Dames. It's fun. You'll never expect. Bonnie D and Karen G.
Karen G.
There you go. Your two TOO Saucy Dames together will dish in life's joyous games. And TOO is spelled correctly. What do you think, Karen? I buffed it up a little bit. You like the opening?
I love it. I love.
Thank you. So tell everybody a quick fill-in. What do you do besides appear in my poem? Okay.
Besides more Too Saucy Dames,
Yes.
I'm a mother of 2 adult daughters, a wife of almost 30 years. I'm an author. Mama's Got to Let Go, How to Let Go Without Losing Your Sanity. Free download. Just plug that in on Monday all day on Amazon Kindle. I'm an educator, an artist, a poet, parent family coach whose mission is to revolutionize parenting, to break the cycle of just anxious and stressful parenting. And it's a lot of stress out there.
I love it. I think one of my children and I wanted to divorce each other I'm just going to use they, even though they do have original gender pronouns. When they were about 14, we were at odds with each other so much. I said, let's see if we can find a way to get divorced. Some kids have divorced their parents, but we ended up with a lifelong bond that's just beautiful. And we love and respect each other decades later. So I'm glad, but I can relate to that. Karen, I think you are the princess of patience. Can I add that to your resume? Do you like that?
Out of my daughters will agree with that, but I think if they're non-family members,
there you
for
go.
some reason I have patience.
There you go. Well, I'm going to give my brief bio. Live radio producer, creator, host, storyteller, playwright, 3 romantic comedies, artist. Let's see, I use watercolors, collage, original collage papers, acrylics, and all kinds of stuff. Drummer, you saw my drumsticks. Poet, I belong to the Writer's Digest Wednesday prompt poetry. Maybe I'll read a poem today. Creator of the 3-minute soundbite roundtable for thought leadership for big companies around the world. I host those shows, and always shocking that people could talk about something in technology without having a dollar sign attached to what is selling it. Oh my goodness. I'm an early woman in tech back in the days of COBOL on a Xerox Sigma 6 CP5 when we were called programmer analysts. We did both in one job. Okay. Former stand-up, and I just try to be funny sitting down now. How's that, Karen?
Beautiful. Love hearing that.
And
You
I'm
do a
watching
lot.
us. I'm watching. Now I'm lazy. I'm watching us on the transcoder. The microphone is sitting right in front of me. I'm going to move it over a little bit, and the sun is coming down onto my face. Now have a bright nose, so I'm trying to look at me on the screen, and it's a little bit different over there. It's just one of those sunny days. What can I tell you? Beautiful weather. I hope the red highlights. Can you see the red, Karen? Can you see
Yes,
all
it's
the red?
beautiful. And I think you see something because I don't see anything on the sun shining on your
Okay.
nose and stuff. I think
Oh,
it's
good. Thank you. Powdering isn't
perfect.
going to help. So, Karen, we have a couple of topics today. We have a packed agenda here. So, number one, I already did this one with somebody else a couple of days ago, and I'm going to do it again with you. You win a trip. Oh, lucky you. For two, to any city in the U.S., including airfare, including meals, including taxis or Ubers or whatever, and hotel, a decent hotel for starting from a Friday to a Sunday, any city in the U.S. Where did you want to go? Karen?
I know this is going to surprise you, but ever since I was 12, I've always wanted to see Graceland. So it's Memphis, Tennessee, which is close to you. I would stay at the Peabody Memphis Hotel that started in 1869. And just thinking about this got me so excited. It's on my bucket list. It's not like it's some foreign country that would require a lot of planning. So I just need to do it. And then I might just hop on over and surprise you.
I would love that.
After
That's
3 days of Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. Yeah, I don't know.
oh,
It
that
was the
would
day,
be
the week that he died. My friend and I we just became obsessed, collecting every newspaper, watching every movie. And so when you said that, I immediately thought of Memphis.
I might have to meet you there. The day, I believe it was the day that Elvis died, I was traveling cross country with my two kids and a friend from Eugene, Oregon, and two of his kids in a Woody station wagon, trailing my 19-foot boat with an outboard motor on the back behind his car, packed with suitcases. We had visited my parents on Long Island, and we were driving back all the way cross country with four kids, no pets, and a suitcase, as I say, loaded with stuff in the boat. And we had to find motels every night that would accommodate a space big enough for the. This wasn't an SUV; it was just an old station wagon, and it was leaking oil. So we had a whole case
Oh
of
my
oil with all the way
gosh.
across country. I know, I know, I know. So it was two adults, four children, and a boat behind the trailing it anyway. And and my son's birthday was
What?
the day Elvis passed. So we're in a hotel,
It
in a
was August
motel.
16th,
Yes,
1977.
my son is. So we got
Wow.
cupcakes at a local store. We got those little sparkler
Yes.
candles, and we're in the motel, and we're all singing around to him, and we're singing happy birthday, and we put the TV on. It said Elvis passed away. So that was an interest. So I haven't thought about that in years. So that ties Elvis to me. So maybe I would go to Graceland with you. Where would I go, Karen? I would probably go to back to Manhattan. I lived in New York most of my life, and I would go to Manhattan, and I would probably just go to Rockefeller Center and look at the beautiful fountain. If it was in the winter, I would go watch people skate. I don't ice skate anymore. I would go on Fifth Avenue and look in the stores and just find a restaurant with music, maybe go down to Greenwich Village and just hang out. And that's what I would do. I would take a subway. I would do a lot of walking, and that's what I would do. That's where I would go. I don't know what hotel, but that's where I would go. Second question. This one is a surprise one for you. You're going to the supermarket in the next half hour from right now. You look very, very nice, by the way. So let's take it a different thing. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and you realize you need milk, bananas, and eggs, or whatever you need for your lunch for whatever you're making. So would you go with whatever you had on at the time, whatever you were wearing? Would you change into nice casual? Would you dress up? Or do you have a unique brand that you always look like when you go to the supermarket? What's your answer, Karen?
It probably would have been different 30 years ago, but I go anywhere exactly the way that I am. So sometimes I'm in my sloth pajama top, and I just put shorts on and I go. I think I'm choosing convenience and comfort over like style. And before I used to have my makeup on, and I think now sometimes I'm like, you know what? We need the butter. Let's go get it, come back.
I always spend a half hour getting dressed up to go to the supermarket. black dress in the winter, my red, I'll bring my boots to show next time we do the show, but my red suede
Wow.
boots with the chunky heels and little zippers on the sides. No, I don't bring my drumsticks. And a black jacket over my red dress and sparkly earrings and my hair done and lipstick. And I would go in just the only one dressed all in black in a supermarket with red boots on and makeup. Trust me, I know. There's only one supermarket here. We're on a little bit of an island. And that's how I would go, and I would go in very proud, not very loud, and just do my thing. And it's a social occasion for me. When I was living in Durham, the supermarket I used to go to, which was Harris Teeter, they put one in the same shopping center where the School of Rock was. So when I went for my drum lessons on Saturday, after I finished my drum lessons, I would leave my car in the parking lot and just walk catty corner over to, and I'd go in, and there was a guy in the fish department. I used to buy fresh salmon. And he used to call me Boots because I always had my red drummer boots. And he'd say,
Whoa.
Boots is in the store. Okay, thank you very much. He was from New York too.
He announced it.
Anyway, there you go. So yeah, I wonder if he wonders what happened to me. I've been gone for 7 years. Maybe one. No, I'm not going back. It's not worth wasting a plane trip. Okay, next question. You are invited to a new friend's house for coffee or tea and dessert. Do you bring a gift? And if yes, what do you bring, Karen?
Well, I've been known to bring my paintings to give away, but macadamia nut butter goes along with, like anything. And they could always, even if you don't use it that day, it's just something fun to always have in your fridge. So I think I would go with that.
What does macadamia nut butter taste like? Is it sweet?
You know how you make it? It's just literal macadamia nuts
Yeah.
in a blender. That's it. And if you blend it enough, it turns into butter, but they sell it for an outrageous price. And my daughter figured out just to, a lot of these things are so expensive, and you find a homemade trick, and that's all it is. You don't
So
add anything to
it's like
it.
peanut butter. It's like you put peanuts in
Yes,
a blender.
exactly. But the taste, if
Oh,
anyone likes macadamia nuts, it's just something so simple. And she did it once for a friend's
interesting.
giving, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing!" And she said, "Yeah, Mom, I didn't tell them." That was so easy to me.
Oh, that's funny. We used to have some restaurant food stores rather than food stores, not big supermarkets. There was an Italian food store that specialized in all kinds of deli meats and Italian pastas and sauces, and they used to have freshly made peanut butter in jars that you could buy right at the checkout counter,
Ooh.
and that was good. My daughter made some for me, and it was really, really good. I'm giving up Skippy and going to the homemade kind. Okay, what would I bring? I like to bake
Yes.
muffins, and I would probably bake a batch of muffins. And the question would be, if I thought, what would they want? Chocolate chip muffins? Would they want blueberry muffins? Would they want cranberry orange muffins? What flavor muffins would I bake? And the other question would be, would they like the little mini kind that come in the little tiny, I put them in the
Oh,
little
those are
paper flutes,
cute.
the little ones where you just get about 2 bites and nobody feels like, oh God, do I have to eat the whole muffin? It's kind of big. Or the regular 3.5 inch. I keep little muffin cups and I have the mini tins. So I would have to decide, do I bring them a mix? Do I put it on a fancy plate? Do I cover it with tinfoil? Do I cover it with saran and put a bow on it? There's a
Wow.
lot of decisions that would go into bringing those muffins to their house, but I would bring something. Next question. We're up to the artwork. So what are you showing us today?
Okay.
I shouldn't
So
even
this
use the
is
word question because I don't ask questions. We're just having a
Yeah,
conversation.
we're just having fun. Okay, so this one I wasn't sure how it turned out, but all it is acrylic and little gold.
Um,
It almost looks like what I would imagine like real gold if you just smash it up and it was just sprinkled. And it's
Beautiful.
only acrylic.
Hold it a little closer to your camera, even a little bit closer. I wanted to, oh, I see it. I see the gold. Yes,
See the
it's
gold?
shining. Yes. Does it have a title?
I think I will call it a what is it? Bling bling. Um, oh my gosh, I'm blank.
A blank, blank,
Bling
blank.
bling.
Blank, blank,
A
blank.
bling
That's it.
bling bling bling.
You just named it. Blank, blank, blank.
I love it.
But okay. Okay.
So this will have to be, I have to make sure this is, I just want to, I love the bling bling. So,
Ooh, there you
so there
go.
is bling
Perfect.
bling,
Yeah.
and it says make a wish.
Yes.
Someone wanted I'm like, I would just want to make a wish. So this was like literally like not even 3 minutes. I just got
It's very
a
pretty.
black pen, and then I
Yeah.
just did dot, 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 dot with, I think it was a watercolor.
Very nice. Very
This one I just did.
nice.
Someone wanted Hawaiian sand, so I am going to mail one, but I'm going to mail it not with the 3D stuff. So it's sand, and if you see it, you know how you actually inspire me to put stuff on it. So like this is, like oh my gosh, this what do you call that?
It's like a
Oh my
sun.
gosh, yeah, this is a sunflower, but the oh my gosh, what am I just blank? These are sequins
Oh, oh,
from a
sequins,
dress
yes.
that I got in Washington, D.C. And they
Hmm.
had a little pack of
Yes,
extra ones,
extra
right?
sequins, yes.
And
Hmm.
now I'm thinking I'm just going to throw it on paint.
Well, how did you get the
So
texture on the sand? How did you
you know
get
how
that texture?
oh no, this is actual sand. I just sprinkled it while the acrylic was wet. And I literally just put a couple of colors, right? And I got two sheets of this is just very, and I just smush, and I opened it up, and this is what it ended up. So
Mush
you've really
artwork.
taught me like the
Oh,
balloon kisses and
yeah,
just, I mean, who would have thought just
smushing. I love
smushing,
it.
I'll call it smushing sand on with sequins. This one I think is fun. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
little I ordered like the little glass what it's just that yeah, you can order it on like little different craft stuff. And so this is the
The jewels, like I
actual
use, the little fake jewels I use for the eyes on my pictures. Yeah.
yes. And this is a feather. I always look whenever I'm going on dog walks, I ask my dad and for some kind of feathers, and they always don't disappoint. And I just pretty much splash acrylic, and now I'm using sometimes just a makeup sponge and literally smush, and that's it.
I like the smush blending. You work in such a small size, Karen. I work on a
Yeah,
my smallest is a 12 by 12, and I use 12 by 20s and 12 by 12 by 20s, 20 by 30s. I couldn't
that's
even imagine
amazing.
working that, but I think you're amazing. I couldn't imagine working on that small a scale and being able to get my thoughts on paper. That's just gorgeous. That is
Thanks. Well,
really,
you know what I just realized? Destin actually taught me this. She says, you know what? Just to, sometimes you just like cut it in half, cut it in, quarters, and then I just mail them. So I just mailed it to someone in Canada, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And I just giggle, because they frame it or they just it lifts their spirits, which lifts mine. So let
very
us
nice.
see what you have, Bonnie.
Well, you inspired me because I showed you some of my iPad artwork that was done with
Yes.
my
Oh my gosh,
fingers
I
in a
love
brushes.
those.
I think that the program, the app is called Brushes. I'm not sure because I haven't used it in a couple of years, but I saved
Oh,
these.
I love that. I
So
have my
let me
students do
share.
that.
Let me share here and let me share the
They,
first
they do
screen.
math, Bonnie. They do
There we
math
go.
with a brush, which makes it fun.
Take a look at this one. What do you think? And
Ooh.
this was done with my finger. And then you have different shape options and you could outline them or fill them. So I used the circular shape and then you can make it oblong, you make it long, like an oval or as round as possible. And this was done several years ago. So interesting. I'm going to bring
I
up
can see
another.
that on a t-shirt. I can see that print on a
Yeah, isn't
t-shirt.
that pretty? I and then the square here, and this was all done by hand, finger painting basically. Let me show you another one. I have a couple of them here.
Amazing.
This was, come on, you. There we go. This was, I was doing
Oh my
some
gosh.
faces here. I did, wow, this was done in 2013, that long. I called this Pop. I don't know why. P-O-P. I think there's some letters in there, but I love the colors. I love the colors. This again was done on the iPad by finger. Let me show you
Was that
another one.
2013?
It must be. Now, these
Well,
I
oh my
named.
gosh, I love that.
This is named Sue. I don't know why I call her Sue. This was done with my finger, and you use your fingertip or your flat or just the nail to do. I don't think I was using a stylus, and I named her Sue. And I just made the big curly Q like a letter S became her eyes and her nose, and then I added the lips, and she just has the dangly ear. Isn't she cute?
So cute.
Yeah, I would maybe I should animate her and do something with her. Let me see what I've got here. Here's another one. Oh yeah, this was an interesting one. This is yeah,
Ooh.
2013, Karen. This was called Mr. Mouse. And this was done with different shapes. And this was done with a freeform shape where I made the outline here. And then I used squares and I let the squares get cut by other colors so that they were multicolors inside each shape. And I gave them some feet, some legs there, and I gave him the
That is
ears.
so cute.
Isn't that cute? I saved these, and I sent you one on text last week, and I
Yes, I
decided,
love
let me
those.
see if I have one more that would be interesting. I know, oh, this one was trees, I think.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
really good in teaching geometric shapes because
Yeah,
it's not so boring where this is a oval,
absolutely.
this is a, you know.
And this is
Oh
called
my
Tree of Life.
gosh.
Tree of Life. Isn't that pretty?
That is gorgeous. And you just
Just do it
think
with
of
your
it. I
finger.
mean,
I just think of it. Just think of it. It's all done by finger painting on an iPad. That was it. No brushes, no wet, yeah,
wow.
nothing.
No, but just to come up with the idea. I mean, that is so, so creative. I
I
love the
might start
trees.
doing it again. And I think I have one more I'll show you. Yeah, this was a real geometric,
Ooh.
and this was based on a song. It's supposed to be sideways. Can I rotate it? There we go. Let me see if I can rotate and stretch it a little bit.
Oh,
So this was, and of course didn't rotate it enough. There we go. Okay. This was done on August 25th. Today's the 23rd, right? So this
yeah.
was done 11 years ago, almost to the day. And I typed in here, and they all lived in little boxes on the hillside made of ticky tacky. And there's a song, Little Boxes on the Hillside, Little Boxes of Ticky Tacky. I think it's Randy Newman. So this is what I
Cool.
decided was, and now I'm going to rotate again. So there we go. Now it's right side up. So I put the sun in the middle, and then I made the little boxes with the little windows and the smileys in them. And that was my
That
idea.
is so cool. I love that.
Cool beans. Thank you. Thank you for encouraging me to remember them. I didn't realize it was 11 years ago. We had an artist on Long Island who was a guest on my show. I did a TV show on local cable with my mom. The show was called Senior Moments, the Happy Ones. And the woman's name is Maisie Dursey, and it's her real name. And she's a very talented artist who draws, she does still lifes and portraits on her iPad, and then she takes them to a printer in New York, and he prints them out in huge on paper or on
Wow.
canvas. And I think she get these are done on commission, I believe, and they become full-size pictures. But she gave us a lesson. She taught us on our TV show how to use your finger in an iPad art program, and it was quite interesting. I don't know if I have the
That
tape.
is
Yeah,
amazing.
that was something. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. I loved your art. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our wacky stories, and then we'll wrap up. So what's your first wacky headline, Karen?
I love doing the wacky headlines. I didn't realize like how much fun just researching. But this
Mm-hmm.
was, remember before I was like the 18 something, 19 something with the New York Times? I decided to do fast forward present. This is May 2024. Wally the Gator. He's a
Okay.
6 foot long emotional support alligator in Pennsylvania.
Say that
He
again.
visits,
Say that again.
oh,
I heard you. I
he's
heard you when I didn't believe you. So say it again. Go ahead.
Wally the Gator is a 6 foot long emotional support alligator in Pennsylvania. He visits nursing homes, meets with the mayor, splashes in Philadelphia's Love Park fountain. He wears a red harness and he's hugged and held. So unfortunately, the owner said he was missing and that Wally was kidnapped and
Hmm.
released into a swamp. But he does have Wally Gator, the Facebook page, and they're looking for him. But I would never, I mean, that's kind of my, not fear, but I know, just seeing them.
Yeah.
But who would have thought, right? Emotional support. So, you know, how people, my second one, you know, how people dress up their animals.
Oh yeah.
This was a California couple who spent $20,000 dressing up their cat Waffle as a barista with props, custom, like just aprons, other merchandise, and they wanted to sell their aprons. So Waffle, the barista, he actually visits Starbucks. He has two Starbucks employees pins and 28,000 followers are interested in purchasing the outfits, the aprons. And so when you think about it, but I thought, I don't care how much money someone has to spend 20,000 on, but who knows? Maybe they're earning, 40,000 a month.
A month?
Um,
Did you say 40,000 a month? Leona
who knows?
Helmsley left most of her fortune, millions, to her dog named Trouble.
I remember a lot. Yeah, a lot of people don't have
Yeah.
kids and they just leave their fortune. But it's amazing how much money people can make, though. And if you really are animal lovers, it's amazing how people will spend an arm and a leg on outfits. This one is
I,
another
I,
emotional support story. You're gonna laugh at this one. This is
I'm still
recent.
laughing from the other one. Go ahead.
I wasn't sure if they were wacky enough, but now that I'm
Oh, they're
actually
wacky. They're
speaking,
wacky.
they're wacky.
They're
Well,
wacky.
this one, August 20th, 2024, a woman faced eviction from her Manhattan apartment over her three emotional support parrots. Okay, there were people who like complained that the noise caused them to have nightmares. And guess what? She will now be paid $165,000 in damages, plus $585,000 for her apartment. So a neighbor complained, and they had the New York City Department of Environmental Protection, who sent inspectors 15 times, Bonnie, and they didn't find any evidence of excessive noise. There was no bird sounds, no screeching, no noise, and it's the largest recovery the federal government ever gave for a person with disabilities. 585,000 for apartment, 165,000 in
What was her
damages.
apartment worth on the open market, though? Was that the going rate for the apartment? They
I didn't research, but that would be a good
Is she
but
moving? Does she have to move? Is that the
she
point?
actually she did move because she had like a deadline, and then since then she was awarded. I mean, that's
Wow.
mega bucks for her three
Well,
emotional support parrots.
interesting. Very interesting. We'll have to look further into that. I have a feeling her apartment might have been worth a heck of a lot more than that, but we'll see because it's real estate might be down a little bit. Even a small one would be worth that in Manhattan, depending on whether she's on the Upper East Side, the Upper West Side,
That
or
is true.
downtown
And
in
how
the village.
small.
That was wacky. Yes, just enough for the parrots and a bed and a
Yeah.
hot plate. Yes, that's enough. That would be worth about 585,000. Okay, I've got a couple of interesting ones here. One is Abraham Lincoln, some factoids here. I found an article, was America's tallest president. It's 6 feet 4 inches, and he chose a signature accessory. We know which one that made him appear
Hmm.
even more a tall silk stovepipe hat. Now, in Steven Spielberg's film Lincoln, Lincoln, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, speaks at a post office dedication where he pulls his speech from his hat and puts the hat back on when he finishes speaking. The crowd laughs when he says, "That's my speech." This isn't just a Hollywood moment. Lincoln really kept only speeches inside his hat. Now, interesting to listen to this. Lincoln's height when wearing his hat added 8 inches to his frame. He became 6'11". Number two, I'll read you by the numbers. The price the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum paid for a hat that may have belonged to Lincoln was $6 million. See, so she didn't get
Six
enough for her apartment.
million.
His
Yeah.
hat size was 7 1/8, and the year of his inauguration when he wore the silk stovepipe hat was 1861. I thought that was very interesting.
That is insane.
He confirmed this practice in writing, blaming his hat for a delay in correspondence. In an 1850 letter to a politician named Richard S. Thomas, I think there's an actor, Richard Thomas, maybe in any way, he wrote, "I'm ashamed of not sooner answering your letter. My only apologies are first, that I've been very busy in the U.S. court, and second, that when I received the letter, I put it in my old hat. And buying a new hat the next day, the old one was set aside, and the letter lost sight of it for a time, and that was it." So that's the story of the hat and the letters. The second article, somebody wrote on, I'm almost embarrassed to say this. The website is cracked.com, CRACKED. The author is Amanda Mannon, Mannen, and she says, I quote, "The English language can feel woefully insufficient sometimes, like right there. Woe is a feeling we can declare ourselves full of. I feel full of woe with one word, but not other feelings. Sometimes you can feel painful, but we're just in pain. You can say someone is short or freckled or sticky, but there's no compact word for Jeff Goldblummy around the eyes." And she says there should be. Often other languages come in. English kind of sucks at compounding, but other languages excel. Maybe there was an English word for the concept you were trying to express and you just didn't know it. So, bloomy eyed, that could be Jeff gloom about the eyes. Yes. And maybe sing it to the tune of Hungry Eyes. Anyway, so they asked on Reddit, what would the word be for that word if you couldn't find a word? And they had 23 words, and I'm not going to read them all for you now, but one was a word, it sounds German, is Entlistungsfreude, the satisfaction you get from crossing something off your list.
Oh,
Entlistungsfreude. Here's another one, Trappenwurst. Treppenwitz. Trappenwitz. When you think of your comeback after you actually need it. So,
oh my gosh.
I should have said
Very
that.
relatable.
Here's one that, well, we know this, but not the word. Borborgimus. Borborgimus. When your tummy is growling. Borborgimus.
Oh my gosh.
Borborygmus. Here's another one. This is a word when you take two words, like, I'm not going to use the bad F word, but if you think about it, abso-blanken-lutely, that insert is called temesis, T-M-E-S-I-S. When you separate a word in two parts, abso-lutely, and you stick something, okay, in the middle, and it could be an expletive, which I try not to say. And one more here. This is diegetic, D-I-E or jetic, D-I-E-G-E-T-I-C. If you're watching a movie or TV show and there's music that the characters can hear, it's called diegetic. If it's non-diegetic, it's music that we, the viewers, can hear to set the mood, but the characters can't hear them. That's non-diegetic, D-I-E-G-E-T. Oh, and there's, two more. I'm sorry. Mondegreen, M-O-N-D-E-G-R-E-N. I bet you've had this, Karen, because I have. When you mishear a word or a phrase, often in a song, that creates a new meaning. Like in a Jimi Hendrix song, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy" was really "kiss the sky." And kids are great at that because they hear lyrics and songs and they think it says something else. And then the other one was the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, Bader-Meinhof. And it says, when you learn something new, you see it everywhere, a person, a word, or a phrase. And I know they say, the law of attraction. Let's say you want to get a certain car, and all of a sudden you see it on the road everywhere you go. Okay. So, and the other one is from the Neuron from today. Someone signed up an AI to run for mayor. Interesting. Wyoming's would-be AI mayor. Victor Miller created VIC, V for virtual, I for integrated, C for citizen. VIC, V-I-C, using ChatGPT, and filed for both of them, Victor Miller and Vic, to run as mayoral candidates. The Vics, they call themselves, planned a hybrid approach blending AI data with human judgment. The election was this Tuesday, and Vic, too, lost by 33 times. The VIX only got 327 votes. What can I tell you? Voters were not ready for an AI to make 100% of the decisions in the office. What can I say? But the idea wasn't crazy. In 2023, nearly half of CEOs, Karen, chief executive officers surveyed said their job could be automated. And 2 companies already made an AI their CEO. One of them is a Chinese video game company, NetDragon Websoft. Okay. It named Tang Yu, T-A-N-G-Y-U, as a top executive. Tang Yu is a female persona. It's AI. That's all I can tell you. The stock went up the day they announced her, and the stock fell down the next day. So what can I tell you? So would you work
That is crazy.
Would you work for an AI CEO, Karen?
That's actually a good question, though, because I don't know, they might be more dependable, nowadays with the creativity. And when you think about it,
maybe.
You never know.
We're just at 30 minutes according to my clock here. What are you doing for the weekend? It's a Friday. What do you think? What's up on your family or your personal calendar?
Maybe see a movie.
Have one in mind?
I know I'm trying to support my daughter in her, it's either K-drama or Japanese drama. And I guess certain theaters only, play it like for a week. So I'm trying to be open-minded.
Okay.
And we'll see,
I'm going to finish binging Mallorca Files, which is a very cute detective show on the beautiful island of Mallorca. And there's a Welsh lady named Miranda Blake who has been transferred. She's a cop, a detective. And then there's a gentleman who already works there who doesn't have a great reputation, but drives a beautiful dark green BMW convertible. And he uses that instead of a police car. And they are partnered up. His name is Max Winter. She's Miranda Blake. Very different accents, very, very interesting. interesting. And he's engaged to a girl named Carmen who works at her father's bar. Anyway, they get very odd cases. And the woman who's in charge at the police station, the commissioner, is this very fancy lady of Spanish descent who has the most gorgeous eyes, and she wears beautiful clothes to work. Nobody wears a cop uniform at all in this place. And the
Wow.
cases are interesting. So I finished season 2 and I'm working. I skipped season 1 because it didn't look interesting. Love season 2. I'm working on season 3. You can't wait for Max and Miranda to kiss. That's what I'm waiting for. And then
Oh,
I'll go back. And Magpie Murders has 2 new episodes debuting on Sunday. I'm a big one for detective shows. So that was a very, very good one. So that's what I'm going to do is binge on some really cool detective shows. And I'm going to make shrimp and rice for dinner. That's my treat.
ooh, my
Ooh.
favorite. You
Well,
got to
you
try
have
the garlic shrimp. In Hawaii, is this known for it, and it's just sometimes like garlic butter or just anything garlic. Anything you can't go wrong with garlic, right?
You absolutely can't. It depends on who you want to kiss. We'll leave that one alone. I'm going to start playing the music. And by the way, as I said, I wrote the lyrics to So You Want to Be. I've owned the website soyouwannabe.net for about 20 years. Never did anything with it, but I keep paying for it. I don't think it's worth anything. I'll do something with it one of these days. So I wrote the song and I gave it to my friend Serge Hoffman, Hoffmann, in Paris. He's a very, very capable and talented digital music composer, not AI. He's a real human being, but he uses digital music, and I think he uses a live keyboard as well. And he performs with opera singers and with quartets, and Cirque du Soleil has used some of his music.
Ooh,
He's done music for corporate industrials, and he wrote the music and he sings. So let's go out with, here we go, with So You Want to Be, and then we'll say goodbye. Got to get my
shrimps.
sticks.
So you wanna be a cool kid, hanging with the ink itself.
We'll do poetry next time, Karen.
Looking real cool and fine.
Here we go. Wait for it.
So you wanna
Wanna be. Pop, 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 pop.
lonely girl.
Bye all. Let's lower the music. Bye all. Have a great weekend, everybody.